Welcome Mario fans and baseball fans alike as we run through the highlights of the first weekend of our very first season of the Mario Sluggers League. We had 3 games over the weekend and each one was an exciting matchup that could have gone either way. I'm Danny Diamond and I'm joined here by partner in studio and our on-field reporter for all of our games, Pauline.
Thanks, Danny, for the intro. We could not have asked for a better trio of games to kick off the inaugural season of the Mario Sluggers League. The energy on the field for all 3 of the games from both the players and the fans in the stadium was unmatchable to anything I've ever experienced.
It was a memorable weekend, that's for absolute sure. Let's kick off the highlights with our very first game from Friday night between the Mario Fireballs and the Peach Monarchs. The team captains took the mound in this one with Mario pitching for the Fireballs and Peach pitching for the Monarchs. We saw a matchup we were waiting for in the first inning when Peach came up to bat. She hit it hard, but Blooper robbed her of a hit with an incredible diving catch. Mario kept it scoreless. Peach started out strong on the mound, striking out baby Mario on just 3 pitches. Mario has better success in this loving rivalry as he scorches the ball to right center to get on base. This sets up Blue Piana to show off his power here as he obliterates the ball into orbit for a 2-run blast to give the Fireballs an early lead going up 2-0 in the first inning. In the top of the second, with 1 out, Red Toad lines a single to get on base. Baby Daisy follows that up with a hit of her own in nearly the same spot to put runners on first and second base for Toadsworth to have a chance to drive in a run. Unfortunately for the Monarchs, Blooper nabs the line drive and doubles off Red Toad at second base to end the threat in the second inning. Leading off the bottom of the second, Baby Daisy makes a nice sliding stop to throw out Blooper at first. 2 batters later, Green Noki manages to hit it past the diving adult Daisy for a base hit. This is followed up with Baby Luigi grounding out to third to end the second inning. With 1 out in the top of the third, Tadek gets herself on base with a solid hit to center field. Peach has a golden opportunity to move the runner into scoring position, but her hard-hit ground ball is fielded cleanly by Luigi, who initiates the double play to end the inning. Baby Mario, who struck out in his first at-bat, manages to line a single to right field to lead off the bottom of the third inning. Luigi then lines the ball straight to Daisy, who doubles up Baby Mario, who thought it was nap time in between first and second base. This gives way to Mario, who crushes it to right field, but got underneath it just enough for Toadette to get under it and put it away for the 3rd out. Daisy leads off for the Monarchs in the top of the 4th inning with a strong hit that just barely ends up going foul. She follows up with a well-hit drive to left field to get on base to start the inning. Petey Piranha and Blue Toad fly out to left field and center field respectively, which brings up Red Toad with 2 outs and Daisy on first base. Mario tries to surprise him with his fireball pitch, but Red Toad manages to make good contact for a base hit to center. Baby Daisy drives the ball hard up the middle, but Blooper makes an incredible diving catch to rob the Monarchs of a potential run. Blue Piana comes up to take his second set of swings after his home run in the first inning. He swings and blasts the ball all the way to his home in Isle Delfino, just over the launch Toadsworth for his second dinger of the game. Red Piana comes up and immediately capitalizes on the surely flustered Peach and sends her pitch into right field for a hit. Blooper follows the lead and also gets himself on with a hit up the middle to put 2 runners on in the bottom of the 4th. With Monty Mole up and the Monarchs sweating bullets, Baby Daisy makes a fantastic diving catch and doubles up Blooper at first base for outs 1 and 2. Green Noki keeps the Monarchs on edge by getting a hit to center, but not quite enough to score Red Piana. Peach manages to get out of the jam by getting Baby Luigi to line out to shortstop to end the inning. The Peach Monarchs have one final chance in the top of the fifth to score 3 runs, or the victory goes to the Mario Fireballs. Toadsworth is able to keep the team and fans hopeful with a single up the middle. Baby Peach gets out with the dreaded line out that ends up being a double play as Toadsworth can't get back to first base in time. Toadette becomes the final hope, and she manages a single up the middle to keep the Monarchs alive. Peach is up with 2 outs in the bottom of the final inning, and Blooper absolutely robs her and ends this game, giving the Mario Fireballs the victory. Pauline, what did you see from both teams in this game?
Let's start with the Mario Fireballs. First things first, Mario was solid on the mound. It was clear his goal wasn't to go out there and strike batters out because that's not what he did. What he did do was keep the batters off balance and allowed them to make weak contact and relied on his fielders to make plays. Blooper at second base was out there stealing base hits from batters, and that greatly contributed to the shutout. Blue Pianta at the plate was a powerhouse, being the one to drive in all 3 of the Fireballs runs in this game. It'll be interesting to see how opposing teams pitch to him going forward. For the Monarchs, they shouldn't hang their heads too low. We saw some positive things from Toadette, Daisy, and Red Toad as they had solid games at the plate. Despite the 3 runs allowed, Peach's pitching performance was solid. You can really only blame 2 of her pitches for those 3 runs allowed. The rest of her stuff was impressive coming from the mound.
Thanks, Pauline. It was a fairly balanced matchup on the field. It will be fun to see their rematch in Week 7 of the season. Now let's move on to Saturday's game between 2 Power Bat teams, the DK Wilds and the Wario Muscles. Who gets the start on the mound for the Muscles as the DK Wilds bat first? Diddy Kong kicks off the game with a leadoff single that barely straddles the foul line. Dixie then follows it up with a single of her own to put on the pressure early with no outs. This gives Tiny Kong the opportunity to drive in some early runs for her squad in the first inning. She hits a hard line drive that gets snatched by the leaping Wario, who doubles up Diddy Kong to give the Muscles a short sigh of relief. Donkey Kong turns the momentum back to his squad with a 2-run blast over the leaping Red Koopa to put the Wilds up 2-0 in the very first inning. Not to be outdone by his longtime adversary, King K. Rool says I can do that too, and it's a home run of his own to straightaway center to add a 3rd run to the DK Wilds score. Funky Kong then flies out to the back-pedaling Paratroopa to mercifully end the inning for the Muscles. Koopa leads off for the Muscles and is robbed by Critter, making a diving stop for the first out. Red Koopa doesn't learn from Koopa's mistake and tries the same thing, but Critter makes another diving stop for the second out. Donkey Kong wants to get his tie dirty as well and makes a somersaulting play to get Boo out for the 3rd out of the inning. Critter leads off the second with a base hit to center. 2 batters and 1 out later, Baby DK ends the inning for his squad by hitting into a double play. King Boo starts the Muscles half of the second with a liner over the leaping DK for a leadoff single. The uncouth Wario takes care of his team with a 2-run garlic-powered homer to pull his team within 1 run here in the bottom of the second inning. The Purple King of the Lanky Kingdom, Waluigi, continues the inning with a base hit to center field. The momentum shifts as Paratroopa hits a double play ball to Donkey Kong for the first 2 outs of the inning. In the top of the 3rd with 1 out, Pooh pitches a ridiculous curveball that strikes out Dixie Kong for the 2nd out. Tiny Kong hits a hard liner to short that is robbed by the diving Wario for out number 3. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd, Red Koopa hits a ball up the middle that Critter makes a phenomenal diving grab to end the inning. Donkey Kong leads off the 4th inning and punches another ball out of the park for another home run, his 2nd of the game, to give the DK Wilds 4 runs compared to the Wario Muscles 2 runs. This ended Boo's day on the mound as Waluigi comes in to pitch. After getting King K. Rool to fly out, he gives up a base hit to Funky Kong to put a runner on first with 1 out. After another deep fly ball out by Critter, Brown Critter comes up and sends Waluigi's pitch over the left field wall for a 2-run blast that puts the DK Wilds up by 4 runs here in the 4th inning. Baby DK hits a liner that is grabbed by the leaping Goomba to end the DK Wilds half of the fourth inning. After Diddy Kong gets a 3-pitch, 3-out inning in the bottom of the fourth. Wario comes in to pitch for Waluigi here with 1 out remaining in the top of the 5th inning and allows a base hit to Tiny Kong. DK keeps his strong game going with a single up the middle to put 2 runners on with 2 outs. Wario gets King K. Rool to ground out to end the inning to bring up the bottom of the 5th and final inning. Waluigi starts the final chance for the Muscles with a base hit in the right center gap that gets him to second base for a leadoff double. Paratroopa successfully moves him over to third base with a base hit. Goomba hits up the middle, and Critter makes another nice diving stop to get Goomba out at first, but Waluigi crosses the plate to shrink the lead down to 3 runs. Getting a bit nervous, the DK Wilds decide to bring in a fresh arm in the form of Donkey Kong to close out the game on the mound. He gets Paragoomba to fly out to right field for the 2nd out. Koopa keeps it alive by somehow getting it past the diving Critter to get the runner in from second base to reduce the gap down to 2 runs with 1 out remaining. Red Koopa then hits a hard liner that Diddy Kong takes a dive for and catches to end the comeback attempt and give the DK Wilds the victory with a score of 6 runs to 4 runs. Pauline, tell us what stood out to you from the field watching this game.
Well, Danny, a lot stood out to me, but if I had to pick one thing, it is the incredible power from this DK Wilds team. 3 different players sent the ball out of the ballpark and a few others got very close. In fact, all 6 of their runs scored came from the long ball. They're not a one-trick pony either, as others were getting on base in other ways other than the home run ball as well. Their defense looked sensational out there as well, with great play after great play taking hits away from the opposition. Critter at second base stole the show with his glove. For the Muscles, the pitching really hurt them today, and at the plate, they just weren't able to string hits together and made a lot of mistakes on the base paths that hurt their ability to score runs. They were able to build some momentum in the final inning, but it just wasn't quite enough. It did make the game feel a lot closer than it was, though.
Thanks, Pauline. The power of the DK Wilds will be exciting to watch as it develops throughout the season. Now let's move on to our final game of the weekend, an interleague matchup between the speedy Yoshi Eggs and the powerful Bowser Monsters. Magic Koopa starts the game on the mound for the Monsters, while Shy Guy pitches for the Eggs. The speedy and reliable Yoshi leads off for the Eggs, but lines out to second base for out number 1. Red Yoshi follows up by taking 4 straight balls off the plate for a walk. Yellow Yoshi makes solid contact, but Fire Bro absorbs it for the out and doubles up Red Yoshi off of first for the double play. Bowser Jr. hits a hard ball, but Yoshi uses his tongue to reel it in for the first out of the Monsters' half of the first inning. With 2 outs, Dark Bones hits it into the gap and Red Yoshi fields it and cleverly tosses it through the warp pipe to hold Dark Bones to just a single. The team captain Bowser comes up to bat and shows everyone why he is to be feared, as he crushes the ball just to the right of the foul pole for a 2-run monster blast to give the Monsters the early lead. Hammer Bro follows his leader's lead with a single up the middle with 2 outs. Fire Bro continues the work by hitting a single of his own to put the 2 brothers on base. Boomerang Bro smashes it to right field for what looked like a 3rd Bro base hit, but Red Yoshi shows off his arm and throws him out from the outfield. Birdo comes up and nails the ball to the gap in right center that rolls past the train that obliterates Bowser Jr. and Dry Bones. Wiggler comes up and sends the first pitch right back where it came from for a single up the middle to put 2 runners on base with no outs. With an RBI chance, Shy Guy drives it into the ground for an easy double play, but Birdo makes her way over to third base with 2 outs. Green Shy Guy hits 1 up the middle, but Fire Bro yanks it from by second base and throws over to first to get out of the jam and break some hearts. Leading off the bottom of the 2nd, Red Magic Koopa smashes 1 over the wall for a home run to increase the lead 3-0. This brings Yoshi into pitch in a relief role for the Eggs. Magic Koopa drives it to third, but Yellow Yoshi makes a good play on it for the out. Bowser Jr. hits a line shot that the diving Shy Guy steals from the air for the second out. Yoshi charges up his rainbow ball pitch, but Dry Bones squares up and gets a base hit to continue the inning. Yoshi attempts it again, but Dark Bones also sends it to shallow outfield for a single. This brings Bowser up with a huge opportunity, but Yoshi gets him to ground out to second to end the inning. Pink Yoshi leads off to third as she punches one just past the diving Dark Bones for a leadoff hit. Light Blue Yoshi comes up only for Fire Bro to steal it from him and double up Pink Yoshi. Yoshi comes through with 2 outs and hammers the ball to left center for a base hit. Red Yoshi can't get it past the leaping Fire Bro, who makes the grab for the final out of the top of the third. Hammer Bro leads off the Monsters' half of the third inning and hammers one to center field, and the train runs over the Yoshis and the ball lands in the train cart, which by Mario Sluggers League rules is an automatic home run. This puts the Monsters up 4 runs to 0. The defensive wizard Fire Bro comes up and singles to center field. Boomerang Bro quickly follows up with a single of his own, which gets Fire Bro around second base and all the way to third with no outs. Red Magic Koopa then grounds into a double play, but it's enough to score the runner from third, adding a 5th run to their score. In the top of the 4th, none other than Fire Bro will rob another Yoshi of a hit to start off the inning. With 2 outs, the free-swinging Wiggler takes the first pitch again up the middle for a base hit. Shy Guy then grounds out to Fire Bro to end the Egg's chances in the 4th inning down by 5. Bowser Jr. starts it off for the Monsters in the 4th with a hard hit ball that causes the Yoshis to get run over by the train a second time, giving Bowser's son a double. With no outs, Dry Bones sends it to the left center gap as Bowser Jr. rounds third and scores the 6th run for the Monsters. The Eggs bring in Birdo to pitch to hopefully keep the score from getting even more out of hand as Dark Bones drives her very first pitch for a base hit to put 2 runners on with no outs. Bowser comes up and grounds out, and the Eggs are able to catch Dry Bones on his way to third and get him out as well. With 2 strikes, Birdo pitches a suction ball to Hammer Bro and gets the strikeout for out number 3. Green Shy Guy leads the last chance for the Yoshi Eggs, and Fire Bro steals another hit away from the Eggs. Pink Yoshi then hits a slow roller that's scooped up by Dark Bones for the second out. As the Eggs' final hope, Light Blue Yoshi grounds it to none other than the Heartbreaker himself, Fire Bro, who tosses to first to end the game and give the Bowser Monsters the 6-0 victory over the Yoshi Eggs. Pauline, give us your report on this final game of the weekend between the Yoshi Eggs and the Bowser Monsters.
Unfortunately for the Yoshi Eggs, this was a performance to forget pretty much across the board. Wiggler was impressive at the plate with 2 hits and 2 at-bats. However, the hitters behind him in the order were unsuccessful at getting hits to drive him in. Pitching also struggled, with Shy Guy only lasting 1 inning before being pulled. It usually doesn't bode well when the starter doesn't make it far into the game. On the flip side, for the Monsters, Magic Koopa was absolutely stellar. They pitched a complete game shutout and really kept the Eggs guessing. And less of a knock on Magic Koopa and more of a praise for the Monsters, Magic Koopa was the only hitter who did not have a hit against the Eggs. The Bowser Monsters were not only getting on base, but they were crushing the ball as well. Fire Bro was also ridiculous out there at second base, catching anything near him. This was just an absolutely dominant performance for the Monsters, and one that the Yoshi Eggs will want to forget and move forward past it. Now, to add injury to insult, as we saw in the highlights, Light Blue Yoshi and Pink Yoshi were hit by the train in the outfield twice. Light Blue Yoshi seems to be okay, but Pink Yoshi has tweaked her ankle and will most likely miss this weekend's game against the Mario Fireballs.
Thanks, Pauline. That's really unfortunate, but we wish Pink Yoshi a speedy recovery. Let's take a quick look at the updated league standings for the Mario Sluggers League after our Week 1 games. Right now, we have the Mario Fireballs and the Bowser Monsters leading their respective leagues. The Bowser Monsters hold the lead over the DK Wilds in the Shell League due to our run differential tiebreaker. Just so everyone is on the same page, if the regular season were to end today rather than after Week 9, the Mario Fireballs and Peach Monarchs would face off in the Mushroom League Championship in a best-of-5 series, with the winner going on to the championship game. They would face off in the championship game against the winner of the Shell League Championship Series between the Bowser Monsters and the DK Wilds. Both the Yoshi Eggs and Wario Muscles would be left out of the playoffs. Finally, let's wrap this up by taking a look at this coming weekend schedule for Week 2 of the 2020 for MSL season. Friday night, we'll have the Yoshi Eggs facing off at home against the Mario Fireballs. Saturday night, we'll see the Bowser Monsters facing off against the DK Wilds, taking place at Bowser's Castle Stadium. For our interleague game of the weekend, we'll have the Wario Muscles in Wario City hosting the Peach Monarchs, with both teams trying to get their first win of the season. Pauline, if you had to choose, which of these games are you most looking forward to this coming weekend?
That's a tough choice. I would put my vote in for the Saturday night game between the Bowser Monsters and the DK Wilds. These were two teams that looked absolutely dominant in Week 1, so it will be very compelling to see if either of those teams stand out from each other. I think it's going to be quite a clash of power bats.
I completely agree. There's only one way to find out, and that's to tune in this weekend. For Pauline and myself, I'm Danny Diamond signing off. We'll see you all this weekend.